it's Kristen Redman, astrological intuitive.
And I'm Angela Chapko, intuitive spiritual medium.
And we are the Soulmate sisters, as you know, and we have so dang much energy going on up in here these days that we have decided to do another video because this is a week where we have a very powerful full moon upon us, and it is the Virgo Pisces full moon, which deals with the access between our subconscious mind and the subconscious realms, and Virgo, which is our physical body and the physical realms, and kind of bridging that gap in between. Full moons are a time when things kind of come to the surface, get pushed to the surface. So you see more dreams coming through right now, more physical issues coming through right now, issues with work coming through. On an interesting scale, to the point where we decided we're doing a video. Let's do a video.
And here we are
doing our video. So yes, so this full moon, just to get a preface, is Thursday the 1st. And it's just pulling on a lot. And of course, leading up to it, we've been having a lot of issues in terms of dreams coming through. Interesting dreams that we have noticed from our clients, that it seems to have a reoccurring theme to it, that these are dreams where people from the past are reemerging in them, issues from the past are reemerging from them. And 2018 is a year where we're really fixing a lot of repeat cycle buttons that we don't like anymore. We're dealing with traumas, with crisis, with situations from the past, finally once and for all, if we're strong enough to really deal with it. So full moons like this bring those things to the surface. And I'm going to just be quiet now and let you talk, because I think
just let me talk.
That's an intro.
It's my turn.
Okay.
So we're going to highlight a little bit. Normally when we do videos, we just kind of get together and we talk about what we've been sensing with our clients and for ourselves, and how things are moving. But recently, both my sister and I have noticed there's something a little different about this energy that really stands out. Of course, everything stands out, but this seems like the universe is up to something, but positive. So we're going to have to go through a few things in order to get what the universe has been trying to show us for years. So I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think 2018 is a major gateway into something much bigger for our life purpose and who's going to be involved with our life purpose. So a lot of you, just to kind of highlight some points, we're going through a lot of cycles right now, karmic cycles. And so for those of you who may not understand what karmic cycles are, they are lessons that we learn over and over and over again until we get them. So it doesn't have to pertain just to this lifetime. It goes to other lifetimes where our soul is trying to expand. You may notice a lot of changes in your friendships, your intimate relationships. I know for my sister and myself, we've read for quite a few clients and worked with them in the past month, that there are so many relationship changes. It's really kind of fascinating and part of the key of what's coming up. And we're going to talk a little bit about soulmate twin flames. Normally we try to bring them up in our readings, but that's what makes the energy of this year so fascinating, is sort of this gateway for twin flames. And yes.
That really got initiated last year. I will certainly say that there was a gateway that opened towards the end of 2016, 999 gateway on September 9th of 2016. And that, I think, was when it really was pushing through the reuniting of twin flames, because when the twin flames reunite, we all live in our soul purpose stronger, and that's exactly what the earth needs to raise its vibration to heal, right? And so that was initiated at the end of 2016. 2017 was the year of new beginnings. So you find that a lot of the old relationships were falling off last year. Many, many, many clients I've talked with last year, that either themselves or people they know. I remember I had one client I did a party for. She had 10 friends that were going through a divorce last year. And a lot of them have a common denominator of the relationship either started in 2003 or they were married in 2003. But those old relationships had to fall off in 2017 to make way for this gateway that's opening this year.
There's definitely something opening, and we're going to talk about a lot of things today
Yes.
because there's so much going on. So my sister drew a diagram. I just explained it. So we have a little bit of a diagram to show you to help you better understand how this energy really kind of works through us and what's happening. You're not under some weird spell or anything like that, but there's so many important things that we're healing from childhood. A lot of trauma or just karma from childhood with our parents, siblings, whatever it may be. A lot of the emotions that we've repressed over the years and how that's affecting us now. You're finding that, yes, you want to stand in your power more. You might feel a little stagnated. There's reasons you're feeling stagnated now, so we're going to kind of highlight that. And you may even be experiencing reconnecting with people from your past, which I think is important, whether it's in your dream state or in the actual waking state. Doesn't mean that you have to continue something with them, but there seems to be lessons that we need to go back and learn in order to help us move forward for what we're trying to attract. And this year seems to be I think it started in 2017, the mirror effect. People that we surround ourselves with, how they affect us, and what parts of ourselves do we see in that person, especially relationships. So we'll come back to that and see, that's how it's working the twin flame. And our spiritual growth is so important this year. It's so important. So we're going to be digging in and really looking at everything. So
yes,
that's important.
I'm going to draw our diagram in a moment here, but I think a good way to bridge into this one is that these messages are trying to come through on a subconscious level, right? We have specific guides that are coming in for this exact moment in our life to help us with these transitions. And how do they communicate? They come through in the subconscious mind. They come through our emotional state, but they come through in dreams a lot, because they speak in symbolism, right? So when we are under the power of such an amazing moon cycle that we have, especially the one that started January 30th under the eclipse, that was a powerful, powerful full moon.
Yes.
It initiates things. And here we are this week going into the most powerful full moon of the year in terms of the subconscious mind and dreams. So if I know you have had more dreams.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because everybody's having these crazy, crazy dreams right now, and we want to help you understand it's heightened for a reason. This is why.
It's a wonderful it's better than I drew it.
No, we have to cover your face. Well, everybody. You just gotta talk behind the diagram here.
I need to look at it first.
Well, here, if I do that.
I have a pen, and I'm going to point. So here we go. The spiritual realm. I think you might need to get it a little closer because it's still, yeah. Okay, that's better.
You're going to have to sit on the bed.
No, I think this works.
It's going to be right in your face.
Yeah, okay. That's fine.
There. I'll move out of the way.
So this is what we got going on. This is our aura. This is our soul energy. And this is how we get through life. This is what our soul basically surrounds our physical body with, is a lot of color, a lot of energy. And that energy is directed into the spiritual realm, our divine connection. So I want to talk to you a little bit about how this energy is really affecting you so you can understand what it's probably doing and what the meanings are. The main purpose of trying to connect to our divine energy is to do what we came here to learn, but also allow the angels, the divine energy, the Mother Mary, to come through and assist us, whoever you work with, even our loved ones in heaven. This is where they hang out. See this purple color here? A lot of the times, those who help us in spirit radiate all around our soul energy, our aura. Our aura is our life force. Whoops, there I am.
That's your life force.
The purple here, it's called the light body energy. This is where our soul connects to everything in the universe. So we are constantly plugged in to everything that's going on, whether you realize it or not. Some days when you feel funky or off, or your intuition is really strong, your light body is signaling, hey, I'm picking this up. And it goes into your emotional body. This is the emotional part of our aura. When the divine energy is trying to connect to us, to give us a message to help us, it comes through our dream state, right? Sometimes we're so evolved in our daily lives that we forget to just kind of tap into ourselves. We forget to slow down because we're so busy in our minds. So at night, when you are able to sleep, this is the divine's way of coming through into our crown chakra, the emotional body. So important. This is where we get the feedback. This is what it kind of like comes through our top of our head and it digests into our energy. So we have the divine energy runs right up and down our spinal column, out the top of our head. Okay, so this is how it's like an antenna. Think of it that way. When we need help or assistance or we're trying to figure things out, there's like this little antenna at the top of our head that signals to our emotional, our light body, even our, where's the mental?
I thought you said that was the blue.
Oh, I didn't see it. The blue is the mental. I apologize. We have the mental realm, the emotional realm, and then we have our light body. And right here, the green, that's the physical. Okay, so what happens when we're not getting the message, or if we're feeling an energy shift, it comes down through our light body into our emotional. And let's just say you're like, I don't want to feel it. No. A lot of things are come up that repressed emotions, feelings, anything that you've struggled with is trying to communicate through your dream state in your subconscious. So what happens is that you'll get a lot of repetitive thoughts or feelings or dreams. Sometimes people will see number sequences, and we'll get to that later. So what we're trying to do is that the soul is actually trying to create a bridge of understanding between the light body, the emotional body, the mental, and the physical. So let's just say you're feeling highly emotional lately. You're like, I just cry at commercials and I'm bawling in the car on the way home. Good. Actually, you need to. That's actually a breakthrough because there's cycles in our aura. Our aura remembers everything. It's like a microchip. It remembers everything that we've ever gone through at any time in our life. So you may be processing a lot of a relationship that you're trying to like figure out or heal or let go of. That's just an example. So you went through the emotional and you've done the work, and now you're kind of in the mental part of it. So you're sitting and you're looking at, okay, what did I learn from this? It's like you're kind of rationalizing and breaking it down when you go into the mental body. And then the physical body. The physical body is always the last one to know. That's pretty much it. When you're either releasing or not getting a message clear, what happens is the light body is saying, hey, you need to heal this. Emotional self, wake up. The emotional self is like, no, I don't want to deal with that. Then it starts to go into the mental body, where the mental body's like, I really probably should do something about this. I should try to put it in action. And then the mental body's like, no, I don't want to. Then your physical body starts to have a reaction. So you have to remember that when we're not paying attention to cycles or our intuition, the physical body starts hurting and people become sick. People are having weird aches and pains, and people are having lower back problems because the energy at the bottom of it's our tailbone. What that's called is called the Kundalini energy, and it literally coils at the bottom of your spine. So anytime something spiritually powerful is trying to happen, that coil starts to activate and it shoots up and down your spinal column. So there's a lot of shifting that you can feel during that time. Some people don't sleep well when this is activated. Some people will get sick, like just have nausea, dizziness. Some people feel out of body. Just because that energy is so powerful, it's trying to connect to the divine realm. So our dreams right now are so important because everything is being downloaded to us and it's connecting to our subconscious and our sleep state. So we're trying to create a bridge, but it comes through in our subconscious mind. And that's where we feel safe enough. You can put that down now.
Yeah, because that binding is...
Yes, it's cutting into your fingers.
The binding is binding.
But you are...
good up close so you can all
yes.
see that.
Lost my thought. But anyways, when we're tapping...
bridge.
when we're asleep and we're able to dream, our subconscious feels safe and free enough, and our soul feels free enough to be shown what it is that we fear, or areas of our life that are broken and no longer work, or what's coming into our life that's good. So the sleep state is very important. I know some people don't really sleep very well because of a lot of things going on in their life. But I do want to put this as a quick side note that using eucalyptus Epsom salt and actually rubbing your hands in it when it's dry is really soothing, or getting some eucalyptus oil before bed and just dabbing it on your wrists.
Jasmine's a good one too.
Yeah.
The Egyptians would put it behind their earlobes, which I know sounds strange, but that's
It
what they would
works.
do to work in the dream state. And if you have any kind of blue stone, so agate or lapis lazuli or sodalite, activates that third eye so you can see stronger.
Or wear blue to bed, you know, like a blue shirt or something.
Good.
But right now, the universe is really speaking to our dream state, our subconscious, because all the fear is coming to the surface right now. That's what these moons are doing. It's saying, okay, time to wake up. And some people aren't ready to heal. That's okay. But you're going to notice a lot of major heaviness if you don't. I think that would be the best word, because like some of this, we've had, you know, the universe is so patient with us, really. But some of these shifts, it really feels like you're on a roller coaster, and it's hard to put everything together. But just be patient with yourself and call in your angels. But pay attention to your dreams right now and try to make a note of the things that stand out to you.
Yes, it's definitely trying to bring through some major healing. I mean, that's
Totally.
I know we've said that before, but this is such a interesting year in a few different layers in terms of that, you know. It's a year where our power of manifesting is also at its strongest. And this is one of those full moons that's going to bring that into focus as well. Numerology wise, 2018 is an 11 year. 11 is the master number for manifesting. The master manifester. And that says that what we got going on up in here and what we're thinking is creating a ripple effect and creating the reality that's in front of us.
522.
It is 522. Look at that, y'all. 22 is the master builder, right?
Yes.
And this is one of the full moons that we have in this year, where we have Pisces, which is that mindset, which is the subconscious realm, which represents being able to go into those unknown realms, cross over the veil, and access our Akashic record to see what in the heck is my soul here to do, because I need to check and see what it is. This is where we can access and hear stronger. See what it is we want. Think what it is we want. Focus on what we do want, because this is a year where it's radiating that vibration of 1-1 over and over again. This pulls into the twin flame as well. Okay, you see an 11-11 a lot? It's because you're trying to reconnect with your twin flame, right? So here we are again. Numerology wise, you know.
Higher purpose and twin flame.
Absolutely. So this is one of those full moons that acts as a gateway, okay, to accessing those things. This is why it's very important to pay attention to those dreams.
What'd you just say?
Pay attention is what I said. But it is, we can create these things into physical form much more this year. But it's also a year of that healing and transformation. The past couple of years have been very overwhelming and very chaotic. A lot of events that have been thrown on unexpectedly, a lot of losses, a lot of endings. That's the way the universe works with us, right? If we don't quite get the hint, by golly, it's going to make it happen. It's going to make it happen.
Spirit intervention.
Absolutely. And like Angela said, luckily, God and the universe are extremely patient with us, and they will bring windows of opportunity again. If we shut down that emotional body, we shut down that spiritual body, and we say, I'm not ready yet. The universe responds and goes, okay, well, then we'll come back when you are ready. This is one of those years where it's there, but just like anything, when we don't necessarily deal with it, when it comes time to finally deal with it, we kind of have to deal with all the pain and all of it head on. And this is a year where we have that strength to deal with it head on.
And there's so much good coming in.
Absolutely.
So much good. That's why I think the second half of this year is going to be pretty fantastic.
Absolutely. But you got to kind of deal with it from the root first.
You do.
And that's what this year is about. A lot of it gets triggered in the spring. See, we're feeling the rumblings right now. That's the thing. You're getting the rumblings coming. We have this massive shift when Uranus goes into Taurus in the springtime. That happens in May. That's where the freedom comes. That's where it says, okay, we need to heal that root of the problem.
Yes.
Because you keep hitting this repeat cycle, whether it's the childhood trauma, repressed emotions that when you were a kid you didn't know how to deal with it, and now that you're an adult you're like, you know what, this doesn't work for me, and I'm recognizing that it doesn't, and I want to fix it. I want to bring it to the light of day. But it's so repressed. Remember, it's way back in that subconscious mind. That's what those dreams are trying to bring out. That's what those repetitive messages you're seeing are trying to bring out. So you can pull that root out and deal with it from the bottom and heal it from there.
And I think this is a good point where we can put our what we're learning about our friendships and our relationships right now, because this is a big part of the movement going on right now. And Kristen and I were just discussing before we made this of how fascinating it really is that, you know, people from your past are coming back up, whether it's in your dream state or they actually are returning. And sometimes that's to help finish a lesson. Or there's connections that you've had with people for a really long time, whether it's an actual intimate relationship or friendship, that just seems to be disintegrating. Like it's different.
Or a karmic one from a past life. Throw that one in there, and
Yeah,
those cords that get
too.
the cords that get attached regardless.
Let me bring up my chart here real quick.
Oh, you need me to hold it? Do you want me to hold it? That's my
please
job.
Hold it. What's happening too right now, and this is why we all probably don't feel good. There's a lot of people having health issues. It's been quite intense in the past month, especially. What's happening is that we're really getting, for those who are getting sick out there, please understand that you're doing really good work even though you don't feel well. What happens is that your soul, you're actually allowing yourself to heal karmic cycles. It's like a death to karmic cycles. So what happens is that when we, it's just functioning on a daily basis, through all these layers in our aura, there's cords getting cut. And so what happens is that when that those cords of old emotional wounds or, you know, patterns or cycles that we've been repeating finally are coming to the conscious mind, and you're saying this no longer works, some people are having some physical symptoms or even health issues. But you also have to remember to be patient with yourself. Your body is trying to heal a lot of things. The body functions differently with the vibration of the soul. So when you're like cleaning out your aura, cleaning out your life, whatever it may be, you might be cleaning out your closets too. But what happens is that your vibration is rising and the physical body's not used to it. So you might feel too that you want to take better care of your health as well. You want to feel more connected. You want to do more of what serves you. And for folks who are ill right now too, I'm just going to describe this. If you've come in with a lot of different lessons in your soul energy, they might be tangling up too. So let's just say you're having a lot of heart problems. Well, let's look at this. Well, what do you hold into your heart that you're not really letting to either let go or forgive? Let's just say you're having a lot of neck issues, neck and back, shoulder issues. Well, why do you have to keep carrying the world on your shoulders? What can you let go of? Some people are having like pelvic issues or intestinal issues, digestive issues, whatever it may be, lower back, sciatic issues. Those have a lot to do with fear. What are you afraid of? What are you not willing to move forward with? And then eventually it moves our leg or affects our legs. So there's so many different physical symptoms. Some people just get aches and pains and shooting pains, especially in the sternum. The sternum is really big because you're getting ready to deal with a major karmic cord with the heart. So I know a lot of women out there that I've talked to have been having sharp shooting pains in their sternum, either on the right or left side. And they're like, no matter what I try to do, I can't crack it. So I have to go see a chiropractor. That's a lot of built up energy in there. So it's like your heart is just saying, I'm ready to deal with this. Let's let it go. And usually when it's a pain like that, it's a major cord. And that's usually somebody or a situation you've had many lifetimes with. That's finally, you're just saying, I'm done. Nothing I can do about it anymore. Nothing I want to do about it anymore. I'm done trying. And when that cord breaks, you're actually going to feel a lot better. You're going to be able to breathe better. But I just wanted to throw that out there.
And of course, I think one thing to be said too is like, if you're having horrible heart pains, You know, I
Yes.
mean, I think you're going to know the difference between
Yes.
physical pain and when something feels different, when you
Right.
feel an energetic difference.
Right.
Same like all the flus and things that have been happening. You know the difference between the flu and when it's your energetic body. You know something's different.
Way
So
different.
if you're really having heart problems, please see a doctor.
Yes, we're not.
But you can feel
Yeah.
you can feel a different. It's almost like you can feel a coiled up cord getting ripped out of your heart, or your your
It's sticky.
tailbone or something along those lines. But
yeah,
yes,
it comes right to the surface. You can feel it. Sometimes people do have heart palpitations or dizziness. Some people feel like they're having a heart attack, but actually it's just energy. But if your whole left arm goes numb and your face feels numb, I do encourage you to go to the hospital. Don't say it's a
Don't come to
karmic
us.
cord. Yeah. There's only so much healing I can do. Yeah. I don't know what to do. It's a karmic cord. Just beat on your chest. The power of Christ compels you. Yes. So, yeah, let's talk a little bit about twin flames. What's your take on twin flames this year?
Well, I think they're great. Well, and like I said before, the mirror. Yes, the mirror effect. I think. Well, we talked a little bit before about how the past couple of years have been prepping for that. Disintegrating old relationships and karmic cords, of course, with somebody, and the thing is with these people, the ones that you're disintegrating that relationship or karmic cord with, it's not that they weren't supposed to be in your life.
Right.
They act as a mirror. Right. And they were here to teach a certain lesson that your soul needed to learn and their soul needed to learn. So your soul evolves and grows to a certain point, and you're like, well, I learned what I needed to. And their soul's like, hey, I learned what I needed to. And now we can move forward into the next phase of what our life purpose is. But you couldn't have done it without them, right? Like there's the beauty in it. But now that you're ready to move forward, this is the year that your twin flame is also going through that same thing. They've been going through the same thing the past couple of years as well. Disintegration of relationship or whatever, looking in that mirror themselves, right?
For what about people that have found their twin flame? Which doesn't have to be just in a partnership, it could be friendships too. You might even be learning some lessons with somebody that's very close to you. They might be going through something parallel like you are as well. So just wanted to throw that out there. But there are a lot of people leaving marriages, your relationships are changing just because your vibration's changing. Like Kristen said, you've looked at the person and gone through every possible scenario you can think of, and you're like, well, one, I'm tired, and it kind of starts to drag on when that lesson's finished. And then one day you just kind of wake up and say, I'm not angry about this anymore. But one of you has to stop that cycle, and sometimes the other person isn't ready to. Some people will carry guilt with them by leaving that person or disconnecting. But it hurts and it's harder to stay than it is to move forward sometimes. But it's like the universe intervenes because of the power of those who have not found love or it's like you've kind of cleared yourself. You've given yourself some space to really think about these things and download them. And you might be having dreams about a person coming into your life or number sequences, 1111, 111, 222, 227. There's reasons for it. I mean, there's a lot of reasons because your twin flame or soulmate might be operating on that same wavelength of energy. So they're just kind of saying to you intuitively and in the physical, they kind of show you manifesting signs where I'm there with you too. We just got to be patient with each other. Sometimes number sequences, it's the angel's way of saying, hey, pay attention to this, especially if it keeps going on. Sometimes they disappear after we learn a lesson, and then they start new numbers. So,
absolutely. And for those that are like, what in the heck is a twin flame? FYI. So there's all different layers of soulmates and karmic connections that we make in this life with other souls, right? I'm here to meet you at this point, and you're going to help me with this lesson, and I'm going to help you with this lesson. Now, a twin flame is a little bit different than a soulmate. A twin flame is one soul that starts out in a lifetime, and splits into two because it says, you know what, we have a shared goal. We have a shared soul purpose to do, and we can achieve that better if we split and go into two different people. Sometimes, I mean, you're not going to be born on the same exact day. You know what I mean? Your soul decides, oh, I'm going to come down at this point. The other soul decides, I'm going to come down at this point. Sometimes you don't even meet in this lifetime because the one soul stays back and acts more of a guardian through you in this process as you learn and evolve to develop that core soul mission that the two of you have in this life. So you'll find there's a lot of similarities. And there's that mirror again, right? Because there are so many similarities that come into that with a twin flame. It's a little bit different. And you know it. You can tell that meeting is a little bit different.
I've been reading about false twin flames too.
Yes.
Boy, is that interesting.
I'm going to interrupt you.
I was expecting that.
That false twin flame will often show up before the real twin flame shows up.
And it could be years before the actual twin flame comes out. But see, when we look at the false twin flame, which is somebody that kind of mirrors similarities to the one that's supposed to come into your life, the false twin flame comes in and they bring pretty much the worst out in you.
Yeah, I was gonna say they mirror the bad qualities.
But there's chemistry, there's a connection, and you feel like there's one partner that's going to be completely devoted and loving, and the other one is not going to be as evolved, devoted, and loving. They're usually more the fearful one. So you're going to have this ping pong throughout however long you guys need to figure things out, but they are your mirror of your dark side. And I'm not saying that you should, try to dodge a false twin flame because you need them. And there is love that comes out of it. There really is. It's nothing, it can be a very tough road, but remember, they chose to be that way before you came into life. So they chose a really tough role. And if you are in that role of maybe knowing that you're not this person's match and it's been really tumultuous, know that you also picked your role because the two of your souls needed to grow from this to expand and to open up to what your life purpose is. But to do it, when you find your twin flame, you come together, like Kristen says, and you both unite in the same kind of purpose to help the world heal.
Absolutely.
And false twin flames, they just get you ready for that.
Right. And they're very draining too. You'll find that that's a hallmark of it too, is that they take a lot from your energy. It's always, one is always giving, 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 and one is always taking, taking, taking. And I think that calls into light that all the twin flame connection is trying to do is work on this heart center. This is where the energy of giving and receiving happens. Love is the currency of the universe, right? True unconditional love. So I think that's what's happening is that, when these connections come up, it's getting your heart center ready. It's helping you to love the correct way, love yourself, helps them to understand how to correctly give that unconditional love and receive that. So it's not a bad thing when you run into a false twin flame.
It's just intense.
You just know the warning signs that if you're feeling very drained, you're feeling like a psychic vampire situation, or you're feeling that you're not receiving as much, there's a reason, but it's a mirror.
Yeah, usually false twin flames are runners. They run away from a problem. I mean, if the wind blows, they're gone. So it's kind of just feel like you're in your own world trying to deal with the both of you. And that's not what the universe wants anymore. And that's why we're seeing these 2s and 11s everywhere. So if you haven't found your partner yet, don't be discouraged, because deep down within you, you know somebody's coming. And remember, like Kristen said, that they're working on the same thing that you are right now.
Absolutely.
So you're trying to spiritually evolve. So take this time to spiritually evolve and do things to nurture yourself and, make a plan for you and what feels right.
Absolutely.
Don't worry about attracting anybody in right now, although I don't think the energy of a relationship at this exact time frame would be good. Not till about April, I'm going to say, because that's when I see the energy moving. So I don't know about you.
Well, there's a few things. There's a few different layers. I think that big shift when Uranus moves into Taurus in May, that's gigantic. That's never happened for most of us. Anybody who's watching here, because it's been 84 years since it was there last. So none of us really have gone through something like this. And what that's trying to do is free up those roots. Remember, we were talking about trying to make sure that we can heal them and be freed from those cycles that we repeat. You fill in blank whatever that cycle is, but that's where it starts. We're going to feel it strongest now, and then when it leaves Taurus in 7 years. So this is a really big shift. Everybody's going to feel it, especially our Taurus friends. Taurus is the hub of the wheel, and I know y'all understand this. If you know a Taurus or you are a Taurus, they're the ones that everyone depends on. They're the ones that make sure everybody's got security, stability, financial things are taken care of. They're the ones that everybody depends on. So with Uranus moving into that sign, it's going to kind of bring the rebel out in them. And they're going to say, you know what, you start doing it yourself. Or there's a big shift that's coming. And just in the past week alone that I've done readings for with Taurus, they can feel that coming. Why do I want to be freed from this? But that carries on with all of us. And I think that also acts as a doorway liberating us. We got to heal these wounds up before we can reunite, right, with the twin flame, or if we move on with our own soul's purpose, whatever it is, you have to heal these things up. But another big shift that's happening, of course, is the Venus retrograde that happens in October.
Oh, and I haven't heard about that one yet.
Well,
haven't made it that far.
I know. Well, and you know, this could be the beginning of the gateway, and this could be when the gateway closes, as well as that Venus retrograde, because it's, hold on, let me tell you exactly when,
like to
10/5 to 11/16. When Venus is the planet of love and money, it's the planet of this heart center, right? When it goes retrograde, we're looking to the past in those areas, love or money, right? So this is a time when it's looking back to last year when we had a Venus retrograde, which is another sign from the universe, like, we really want to heal these heart center issues that are happening for you people here, right? Yes. Last year it happened exactly during the 40 days of Lent. What was happening for you in terms of money and love in Lent and before Easter of last year? It's coming back again this year. Those things are resurfacing this year. And I think that once that Venus retrograde happens again, towards the end of the year, I see that as that closing gateway that says, okay, you figured out what you need to do. You're moving on. You're doing what you do. You're healing, because the mid chunk of this year is where the active healing takes place.
Like right now, we're in some pretty. That's why I think it's a fascinating time. It's a super fascinating time.
It is. It is.
So I guess in closing, we're just going to kind of highlight real quick what to pay attention to, and you know, what to expect here in the next month, at least 2 months. Especially as we get into like end of May into June. Any cycles that you see yourself like being very, pay very close attention to how you feel and the cycles in your life that you're leaving. Like you can tell that you're detaching, like go with that feeling, because there's so much truth to it. You know, there's so much that's trying to come into your life. So pay attention to cycles, and pay attention to how you feel, and pay attention to your dreams, especially. They're very telling right now. Yes.
Yep.
Also, with any repressed emotions that you might be feeling, pay attention to friendships, connections that you have with people that may no longer work for you, and that's okay. I know they're hard to disconnect from, but you have to remember you're changing and so are they. And sometimes the purpose of you two together in a friendship or whatever it may be is changing. And that's happening quite frequently because there's a lot of new people coming into your life that have your best interest or want to be there for you and be supportive. Pay attention to anything that's mirroring you in some way right now. Pay attention to how you feel, your freedom, your independence, the excitement that you may feel for your future. And also know that there's a lot of karmic cycles that are finally ending. So you're going to see that with a lot of people. Everybody might feel stagnated right now because they just need to kind of be within themselves. But don't worry, you're not going to stay there long. So you're going to start seeing some shifting this spring.
Yes, I agree with that 100%. I think my side note, because if not, I'll just kind of hit a repeat button of my own and say the same things again. But I think because this is such a powerful full moon, full moons represent where it's the ending of a cycle, right? This is the year we're ending those cycles. And because the moon will technically be in Virgo, that's an earth sign. It's always a great time at new moons and full moons to write down your intentions of change, what it is you want to see different. Remember, it's a powerful year for manifesting. I think this is a great time to write those things down. This is what I want to see change. This is what I do want to have happen. And take that, fold that little paper up, and bury it into the ground, because this is an earth sign.
Yeah.
It'll amplify that energy even more. And it's a great visual too, because just like seeds that we plant in the ground, that's what our manifesting power is. We plant our seed of hope into the ground. So luckily the earth is extremely thawed right now that we can do that, and put that in there. I think that's a great exercise to do. Thursday the 1st.
It's coming up.
It is. A lot of energy around it astrologically to open up windows for the heart center. Jupiter and Venus are making a one-time of year alignment that day at the same exact time as this full moon, which isn't...
And the 2 blue moons, right?
And the 2 blue moons, too. We had... You know what a blue moon is. It's something rare, right? A blue moon is where we have 2 full moons in the course of a month. Usually we only have 1. Blue moon is 2. We just had one in January. We had 2 moons in January, and here we go. March is going to have 2 full moons as well. How interesting is that? That we haven't had a blue moon since the middle half of 2016, and all of a sudden now we've got 2 of them in a row. The first one being that initial gateway where the universe is like, this isn't making you happy. Let me make it known. Like, there was no way. That's what the universe sounds like.
Sound like Fat Albert. But also, yeah. But if you've heard the term once in a blue moon, so now we're looking at twice in a blue moon, which brings our attention to like something rare is about to occur, and that's where we're thinking twin flames are fighting each other.
Absolutely.
We're finally able to connect. That the ground is like even enough for everybody to find one another.
Well, it's starting, that's for sure.
Yes.
It is.
That's all I got.
Well, I lost my train of thought, but the universe was saying something. And it's...
I think we're just done.
I think we're done.
We need to stop. Poor everybody's just like, are they going to stop? We could draw another diagram.
An arrow leaving, right? Well, everybody, thanks for watching as per usual.
Yes, we appreciate our followers. I have to tell this quick story. And to whoever it is out there, hello. I had got a traffic ticket recently. Yeah, not real proud. I haven't had one in a while. Anyways, I got a traffic ticket. And so a couple days later, I called the courthouse to find out about my traffic ticket and how much it cost. And the gal on the other end, is she like, are you the Angela Chavko, the medium? Is your sister Kristen? And so I ended up having this great conversation with one of the county clerks or whatever. Anyways, it was such a pleasure talking to you. And it was just so funny that a lot of people do enjoy these videos. And we apologize. We've both been so busy. So we're going to try and keep up with some of these shifts that are going on, because they are exciting. They really are exciting. So
yeah, and we'll have a lot of them this year, I think. Definitely in May when that Uranus one comes around. Again, that Cancer eclipse that happens in July, that's the big one for healing childhood wounds. So we're going to have a lot of buried stuff coming out then. Really painful stuff, you know.
Can't wait.
Look forward to that one.
So excited to talk about pain. Like we haven't all dealt with it, right?
But this is good, like we've said all along. These things, though it's painful, it's like the Band-Aid effect, right? You rip the damn thing off and then it's done and it's over and you're like, well, wait a second, that was healed and I had that stupid Band-Aid that smelled like old pee and has a bunch of fuzzies in it.
Wow.
I didn't even need it, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what 2018 is, ripping off that stinky
old Band-Aid. I think we can stop now.
Yep,
this is just
all right. That's over.
Thank you for watching, everyone. We appreciate all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good day.